All right, here's 4.6 from PreCalculus OpenStax. Try it 4.6. In this problem, you're asked to come up with the exponential function from this graph here. And the reason I want to go over this is because there's so many different ways you can do this problem that maybe it's worth learning them, not because you need to be able to do one problem multiple ways, but because if you have multiple tools for solving a problem, maybe when you see a different problem, it might work better to use one of those tools. Anyways, let me just get started. The first thing that would probably be the easiest way to solve this problem is to recognize that you're given this point right here. That's fantastic. You're given that the y-intercept, maybe this is option 1, you're told that the y-intercept is this root 2. When x equals 0, y equals root 2. But a is exactly the y-intercept. So you immediately know that a is equal to root 2. And if you know that a is equal to root 2, all you got to do is figure out what b is equal to. To figure out what b is equal to, grab any other point that you want. Probably the easiest point to grab will be this guy right here, because this appears to cross at the point 1, 2. So using this point right here, I can say, okay, when x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2. So 2 is equal to a times b raised up to the 1 power. Right? This is y equals a times b to the x. But when x equals 1, y equals 2. So I get here. This will be easy. I can solve this thing for b. I could divide both sides of the equation by root 2. I get 2 divided by root 2 is equal to b. This is an okay answer. You may have heard or learned or know that you can rationalize denominators. I can multiply the top and the bottom by the square root of 2 to get to here. But then I can cancel out these 2's and figure out that b is just equal to root 2. So the first way you get your answer, that y is equal to a root 2 times b root 2 raised up to the x power, is like that. Another way you could do it very similar to this is look at the y-intercept, figure out that a is root 2, and then think about, okay, when I take one step to the right, I multiply root 2 by something to get to 2. So root 2 times what equals 2? Well, root 2 times root 2 equals 2. Okay, so b is root 2. That's another way you could have gotten there. Another option is to completely ignore this y-intercept right here. To note that this appears to go through the point -1, 1. Maybe I'll just say use points -1, +1. That's from this guy. And then, I don't know, maybe this point right here. And that's at +1, +2. And solve. Maybe I won't actually go through and do it. Set up two equations, y equals a times b to the x, plug in these values for x and y, and then these values for x and y, and then divide the two equations. You should end up with the exact same answer. So there's 2 different ways you could have done this problem. I guess I kind of gave you 2 different ways to do option 1, so maybe that's 3 different ways to solve this problem. I think I'll probably call that good.